consistency is key. Just no matter what, like you can't stop, you can't take breaks. Like the best. If there's anything I learned, the best, training through in and throughout. It's like for sure like something that I've definitely made some mistakes in. Like getting out of shape. You shouldn't be getting out of shape. Like if you're like an amateur and you're getting ready and you're competing, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna compete and then take like a month off, and like you should be like winning and then like going back to the gym training. It's like the winning is like just, it's not the like, this is just a part of the process, but like the goal is like if you want to get to that highest level, for sure. And then like good coaching, man. Like find yourself good coaches, guys that that are experienced and have been there and know the game. Like gotta be careful out there that like you don't want like a coach that's like wants the spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Bald version, but still beautiful. I am also very ecstatic, you know what I'm saying, to bring you another champion, another story, another legacy before us. You know what I'm talking about? But before we get to introducing the powerhouse of a guest that we have today, ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I know you on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Because, yeah, you can find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Deezer, on all that good stuff. But more than anything, hit the YouTube. That's how you get to see all of our beautiful faces. That's why we got damn 72 cameras in here. You know what I'm saying? So hit the YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, how do I put into words the excitement that I have before me? You know what I'm saying? I have had the honor of having a plethora of guests today, many of which are fighters. And the man before me today is no exception, but he is not only, he's not defining himself in that one box, but the man is expanding. You know what I'm talking about? The man is hitting the stage down here in Miami. And we are also very ecstatic to hear all about it. You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on the Midnight in Miami set, we have one championship fighter, Emilio, the Honeybadger, Urrutia! My brother, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Sweaty palms, I like it, brother. You know what I'm saying? Keep it transparent. Brother, how's everything treating you? We are also very happy to have you here. Thank you for dropping on by, man.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me on the infamous Midnight in Miami podcast.
Oh, man, and we go for infamy here, brother. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's our forte. Brother, there's so many things that we can dive into. And I got to ask right off the bat, how's it been to come home? You know what I'm saying? You recently had a long trip and you're making the most of it. Talk to us about your time here in Miami.
Oh, man. Coming back, it's a real blessing to be home. It's been a long trip. It's been a long ride. And I'm just enjoying being back with the family, being back with the home team. You know, I enjoy traveling. I enjoy being on the road and living that life. But right now, being back with the family, being back with the people that I grew up with, and being familiar with my territory right now, there's nothing like it, yo. Back in the 305,
damn.
You know, I want to. This is where I was. You know, this is where I live. This is where I'm from. You know, this is where I want to die. So
damn, yeah, bro, and that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. You deserve the key to the city right there with that statement, brother. Man, and where are you coming from? What was the last time that you came to Miami?
Man, so the last time I was here was, I think, in 2019, just before the coronavirus. Yo, 2019, I want to say July 2019.
July 2019. Yeah. What made you come right now? What was the purpose of this trip?
Well,
and is it a trip or are you relocating? Talk to us.
So right now, I'm like kind of like an open book.
All right, there we go. All right, go.
I just came back. I was living in Bangkok, Thailand for the last year. Okay. And the coronavirus was getting pretty crazy out there. The lockdowns were getting pretty bad, you know. So like as soon as I got there, we were open for about a month or two, and then we went into like lockdown. The gym closed and went into a lockdown restriction.
And then, you weren't able to go to the gym at all, or?
Yeah, well, the gym was closed, so we were still training behind closed doors.
Gotcha.
You know, But luckily, like, we had the key. I guess I can say that now, you know. I'm in America. I'm free. I can say whatever I want.
There you go.
This is why I'm here,
That's
dog.
perks, baby. That's perks.
So I can say this shit, you know. We were training in the gym over there, but it was like back door only. You know, you had to have the VIP. You know, you had to have the code for the back. You know,
Right.
like on the private message.
Oh yeah.
We were training in the dark because like we didn't want like the police. If the police come, we probably have to get fined and like pay our way out of it.
Bro, that's some Daredevil type shit right there, brother. Training in the dark. Okay.
Yeah, so like that we were doing that for a while, and it was good, man. Like I was still keeping we had the students going, and we were training, and then it just didn't, like, we opened the gym opened back up a little bit in Bangkok for a little bit, and then we closed again, and then just recently when I left, we had been closed for like 6 months, you know. So I fought in February. I got back into the country like in March, and then we closed a month later.
Wow.
So just when I left, just after I booked my ticket, the gym that we got like notice we could reopen again. I was like, oh damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess what were some of the biggest differences that you noticed from some of your friends that were experiencing lockdowns here and your experience in lockdown over there?
Oh man. So in the beginning in Thailand, it was pretty good. Like we got really strict in the beginning. Like I want to say around April. We had about a month or two where the gym was shut, and the area that I was in, it was like called Phuket.
Okay.
And it's like, it was closed down to sub-districts. So we were like from like one light to another. It was like, the distance was maybe like 127th Ave and Kendall Drive to like 117th Ave, all the way down to Sunset. And that like within that perimeter, that was like our block that you had to stay. They had like police checkpoints all over.
Oh, shit.
And then they had like, the 7-Elevens weren't selling alcohol.
Oh,
You know, and then they had like an alcohol ban because they didn't want people getting drunk and going out and breaking curfew. And we had 9 o'clock curfew.
God.
Yeah, so it was like that, and it was pretty strict. And then they locked down the country, so like nobody was in or out, you know.
How did you stay sane? What did he do?
Man, honestly, in the beginning, it was kind of crazy because it was like a blessing in disguise. A lot of the fighters, a lot of UFC fighters that were there, they were getting ready for big fights. So we adapted and overcame, you know, like all of the crew, we just made little gyms in our apartments in different houses, and everybody had like a little home gym.
Damn.
So it was pretty good, man. Yeah, like at the time, like in the first lockdown, it was pretty good. I remember I was training a lot because one of my teammates was competing. Who was he gonna fight? Peter Yan was gonna be fighting Jose Aldo, and
Right.
he was in Phuket for that camp. So we were doing jiu-jitsu like 3 days a week in his place. He had like a little home training camp in his apartment, you know. So we were doing like little home training like that. So in the beginning, it was all right, man. Like we just kept training, you know. It's like pretending like it was fight camp and
Right.
podcasting, you know.
Bro, I know that all too well, bro.
Yeah, that's what the first coronavirus brought us. And then things got a little bit good for a little bit, but then Thailand, just more and more people kept leaving, you know? So the more people kept leaving, like the quieter and quieter it got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Before I continue with this topic of conversation, I got to go off on, you know what I'm saying, on a tangent, on a little branch off. What are your 2 cents on that fight, Peter Yan versus Sterling?
Oh, man. I think that it's a tough call, you know? Like, I think, yeah, it's pretty messed up. I don't know. It sucks. I think it sucks for Peter, but we all know who's the champ now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, in the end, it all washes up in the dust. Everything washes up in the sand eventually. Like, that's how the world works, you know?
Right,
So, like,
right,
you can take these things are going to happen, but the truth will always come out, you know?
That's facts,
The truth
brother.
hurts, but it'll set you free, you know? So, like, at the end of the day, like, he's now it's, I think him and TJ is going to be, like, the next one for who's number one, you know?
For sure. Brother, I got to ask, what started it all? Where did the passion for MMA, for mixed martial arts, in any capacity, where did it start? What came first? Jiu-jitsu, boxing, wrestling? Talk to me about the roots.
Okay, yeah. So, man, this training martial arts is something I've always wanted to do, but I'm sure like a lot of people that happens, like I was always like worried about like I was always afraid, you know? Like I was like worried about what people would think, you know, like scared to being new or something like
Right.
that. And I thought I was too old, you know, because I knew some friends that were like amateur boxers when they were like 13, 12 years old, and they
Yeah.
were already retired by the time they were like 17, you know?
Right.
So I always thought I was too old.
How old were you when you started?
I started when I was 21, turning 22, maybe already 21, late 21, 22
Okay.
for sure.
Gotcha,
You know? I remember
gotcha.
21 because I remember on my 21st birthday, I wasn't training yet. I remember because like my lifestyle wasn't training for sure.
You're like, I remember that much.
Yeah. So I think I was like a little bit lost, and then I met a friend. He was like 36, and this guy was a beast, yo. And I remember he had on his phone, and he was like, "Yo, I train every day," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." and he told me he invited me to his gym, and like this guy was like. He was a lot older, but he was like strong. He was hitting pads, you know. To me, he looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like he looked like amazing. You know? He looked like GSP on the pads, you know.
Oh, damn.
And then I went with him to the gym, and I'll never forget it, yo. Like my first day there, we were training. It was like a small gym in Bird Road, and it was like a Muay Thai kickboxing class.
Okay.
And I never forget, it was like the hardest thing I've ever done. I never forget, like I was so tired, like I couldn't breathe, but I was like the happiest I've ever been. I was like, yo, I've been searching for this my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And then ever since then, I got the bug. Like that gym was a little bit smaller.
Okay.
You know? So I think I trained there like 1 or 2 times, and then I got on the internet and I just started looking for gyms. Just trying to find like the most popping gym, you know?
Damn.
And then I remember I used to like watching the backyard fights.
Oh yeah, man.
It wasn't like social media, but I remember seeing on what was the name of remember Tom? MySpace.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing a Masvidal backyard fight on MySpace back in the day. One of my friends from high school posted on his MySpace. So then like I was trying to like, so then that got me like looking into MMA gyms and like Kimbo Slice and these
Kimbo
guys.
Slice, shout out Kimbo
so
Slice.
like,
shout out Baby Slice, you know what I'm saying? Future guest of Midnight in Miami.
Oh, word, that's what's up, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that was like kind of the influence, and then I was just kind of like trying to train where these people train, and then I ended up training at this one gym, and then that's where I found Coco, you know. And then ever since then, I found Coco, and then he opened up like his own spot. Like 8 months into me training, I met my coach Enrico Coco, and then he opened up his own gym, so that's where I started at, you know.
And you were doing mostly jiu-jitsu at the time?
Yeah, I started like doing MMA, everything together. But at first I was like, all right, let me get good at something, you know? So at that time, like jiu-jitsu, wrestling was like the key, was like the big martial art.
Still is.
Yeah, it still is, you know, like I feel like it goes through waves. You know?
Okay.
Like you got like the era of the striker.
Right.
You know? Like you got the era of like the sprawl and brawl. At that time, like, man, the guy who can take the person down and pound him out was like winning, you know? So that was that was my go-to in the beginning. Like wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu.
Did you feel like you were more proficient in jiu-jitsu out of everything?
Yeah, I think that was like where I think like in the wrestling, like the grappling, that's where like my tenacity and like my personality was able to come out the most. You know?
Damn.
Yeah. So that was where I gravitated. And then I made a decision. I was like, all right, for like the first few years, I always did everything, you know, like we always trained mixed martial arts, like boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA together, you know, but like for the first few years, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make my base, and I want to get to like a purple belt. You know, I was like, I want to be able to get to a purple belt, and that way I feel comfortable wherever the fight goes. If I fight a black belt, I feel like I'll be good enough to defend him, and if I fight a guy who's less than me, like less than a purple belt, I should be able to tap him out. You know? So that was like my theory when I first started.
Right. You were earlier speaking about being afraid, you know, before you had gone into the sport. Were you afraid of actually getting hit? Was that one of your concerns, or was that not there?
Nah, no, definitely not. For me, it was like anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Just like going to a new place and like signing up somewhere new. Like I remember like pulling up to the gym and like seeing everybody training and stuff like that. It's like a lot.
Right, you feel left out and shit.
Yeah, like you want to be a part of the crew, but you don't know how to say that or look silly. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I remember like just signing up. I always tell people like I'm a coach now, and like yo, walking through the door is like the first battle. You know, like once you do that, you're already almost home. You know, like,
damn.
You know, you just got to make the effort, right? You know, so
wow.
That's what it was for me. Like for a long time, like you could be your own self enemy, you know?
100%.
Sometimes you can make mountains out of molehills. You feel me?
100%.
So like I had like a long history of that, like being silly, you know? And,
right.
Like, being a hard head and like being hard on myself. So training was like a big step where like doing something that I've always wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? If that makes anything.
Of course. What are some of the ways that you're able to kind of like shut those voices down when you have a performance, whether it be on stage or in an octagon or in a circle or whatever the case, whether you're fighting or, you know, doing comedy? How do you shut those voices down?
I think for everybody, it's probably just experience. You know, like the more you do it, the better you get. You know, I feel like that's been for me like. For me, it's so much nervousness. You know, it's more about like wanting to like do my best. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's nervous, but it's like a good nervous.
Are you trying to impress anybody or just impress yourself?
Nah, I think that's the best. You can get caught. Like, of course you want to impress everybody, you know, like that could be like a goal or it's in the back of your mind. But I think when you're at your best, you know, it's like when you're just in it, when you're competing against yourself, you know, like when I first got into martial arts, I mean, that's what a lot of the battles were, you know, it was like getting better, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like getting better, showing up every day, you know, learning how to get building that discipline.
Right.
And getting good at something,
Right.
And then I feel like that's the best way to gauge, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's different,
Bro, gauging is half the battle, you know what I'm saying? Talk to us about your amateur debut.
Oh man, my amateur debut, it was at Club Revolution,
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard Club Revolution. They used to do MMA fights
In Fort
there.
Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It
I
was
saw
crazy,
bands
man.
there, brother.
Oh, yeah. They have concerts there.
yeah.
I remember Wu-Tang. I seen Wu-Tang out there back in the day when I was like in high school, like somebody from Wu-Tang. Forgot.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember that spot. They had
Okay.
MMA fights there. They used to
Wow.
have amateur shows there,
That's dope because you have the second floor, so I feel like that'd be a great view.
Yeah, people would watch from the second floor. It was kind of dope. Like
Hell
everybody's
yeah.
like looking like those old school club style shows.
Yeah, very
that's how-
Kingpin type shit, Like I feel like I need to smoke a cigar while I watch a fight,
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So talk to us. How how did it come to be? What was your mentality going into it? Talk to us about it.
Yo, for my amateur fight, I remember in the gym, I was always like the cardio machine,
Oh, word?
And
Just
then,
hitting the
like-
treadmill every day?
No, yeah, I was always in there, I was like good at like that was like my I used to pride myself on that, I was like
Hell yeah.
I was like a blue belt, and I've been training long,
Right.
Not very technically efficient or anything like this, but that's one thing I could pride myself. Like I like to work hard and put the pressure and put the pace. And I remember like in my first fight, I was so confident, before the fight. And then like after the first round, I remember being so tired. I couldn't believe it. It was
Life
like
got hands right now.
Like hit me in the face. I was like, what happened, bro? And then I learned real quick like the difference between like competing on the level and like the gym,
Oh man.
And it was a good fight, man. I lost a decision.
Were you sparring hard for that camp or not really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, always. It was trained really good. Just the nerve levels is totally different.
Shit.
I'm sure anybody could tell you this. Like when you in the beginning, like when you're training a lot, like you can get like really fit training all the time, and then like competing and training is a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
Once you can compete all the time, like you train, that's like the level you kind of want to
Right.
through experience. But yeah, my first amateur match, I was like. Yeah, I just did all the perfect rookie mistakes you can make, like.
What are some of those rookie mistakes?
I just went crazy, like in the first minute and a half, trying to knock the
Throwing
guy
bombs.
out. Just running out, like, you know what I mean? Like coming, doing Terminator style, 1, 2,
Oh,
1,
hell
2,
yeah,
1, 2.
brother.
And then all my friends were around. I can hear them in the crowd, Yo, I remember Danny was there too. Like I can remember.
Shout out to Colombian Warrior, baby.
Shout out to your first guest, dog.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
All those people were there, yo. Chino was there.
Shout out Chino.
Yeah, I reckon if Jose was there, I'm not sure, but like all those old school Zen Jiu-Jitsu people. Were
Hell
there.
yeah, damn.
And my parents, my dad was there, yo.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about the support group.
Yo, so I lost my first amateur fight, but it was a good fight. I did my best, and there was no shame,
Hell no.
I got beat. The guy took me down, and then I lost the decision. But then afterwards, I remember we all went to get pizza and stuff like that. And then I saw my dad afterwards, and he grabbed me, and he was like, "Yo," he's like, "I thought you were crazy. Like at first, like when you told me you wanted to do this, because I was already been training for about 2 years.
Okay.
And once I got that bug, it was like." People thought I was crazy. Like I stopped. I changed everything in my life just to train and try to get better.
Wow.
So I remember my dad was like, "I thought you were crazy at first." He's like, "But after seeing you perform, like even though you lost, he's like, yo, keep going, don't ever stop." He's like mad proud. So yeah, that kind of like was what like, all right, I'm gonna not stop. I'm just gonna run this bitch till the wheels fall off.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So at no point were you ever let down by that loss? At no point did you even consider for a second, like, oh, maybe this isn't for me? Like you knew, oh, I'm coming back for more.
Yeah, at that level, nah. Yeah, I was just getting my foot. It was just my first amateur fight. Like I knew that this is a long road.
Of course,
100%. Yeah, and at that time, I wasn't even thinking about going pro. I was just thinking about just winning my first amateur fight. Being good enough to win the first amateur fight. It's like a step-by-step process.
What were you doing before 21? Were you just like, playing video games at the crib? Like, did you have anything else as far as like a backup, or did you ever contemplate doing anything else? Obviously, before comedy, before anything else, but did you ever think of anything else before fighting came into the picture?
Yeah, like, so the way I met this dude, I was a little bit like, when I was younger, I got into like a lot of trouble.
Okay.
And then, like when I was like 15 or so, like I got arrested, got into all kinds of trouble. I had to go like this program. I was like pretty much gone for like a year and a half, almost. And then I stopped going to school, like dropped out. I was like getting in trouble. But then because I was in this program, I was able to like, you have to do school. You have to go to school when you're there if you're a minor, And I was like 15 when I was there. So I was a pretty like wild boy for a little bit. I got a little bit distracted for a little bit of time. And then through that, I was able to like get clean. And then I was like a part of like a Narcotics Anonymous program.
Okay.
And then like a fellowship program.
Okay.
And then through there, I was kind of doing that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And like I was like just like trying to play my part, you know, like staying out of trouble. You know, it was good for me. I met a lot of people. So then I had like a little bit of different waves, you know, and then through there I was like kind of like a loss for a little bit of time where I was like kind of doing that, but I didn't know like my purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't, like there was things I wanted to do, like I knew things I was good at, you know, like I used to like, I was always pretty funny, you know what I'm saying? Like I always loved to compete and like training and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's where I found my friend that's older, the 36-year-old guy. He was there too. So like that's how I found the.
If you don't mind me, who is this? So we can drop a shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my boy Irvin. There's my boy there's two people that used to train actually, like my boy Gus and my boy Irvin. So,
Big shout out. Hell yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like that's just the guy who brought me to the door, you know.
Oh man.
So it was kind of coincidental, you know.
Oh,
but before that, I was kind of like I had like different things, you know. I wanted to be a professional poker player for like a year.
Oh, brother, I'm going through a poker phase right now because I'm going to Vegas in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? So I'm brushing up.
I played for like I got like a pretty like I got that personality. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like if I like something, I love it. You know. So.
Oh yeah.
I think until I found martial arts, I was always just fighting crazy things, you know.
Oh, brother, I'll bet the entire studio on a flush. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah,
I think that's why I like fighting. It's like the same shit.
Dude, it is because
like,
you have to read. It's like you're reading the feints of other people.
Yeah, and I like it's funny. Like the way I play poker is the same way I fight. You know,
dude,
like your personality shines in what you do. You know?
Oh yeah, man. You know? Damn, we gotta have a poker night soon, brother.
Oh man. Yeah.
Brother, talk to me. You know, you mentioned briefly such a touching moment that you had with your father after your amateur debut. How important is it for you to kind of have that support system in regards to your family believing in you as a fighter, and maybe when you're pursuing other things such as comedy or whatever, your friends here in Miami or back in Thailand? Talk to me about the importance of having a strong support system, and also kind of like a second parter. Before that, was your family supportive of you going into, you know, this career choice, or not as much?
Yeah. All right. So my father was like, he was supporting me. My mom, she thought I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember in my amateur career, like she wanted nothing to do with that. I'd be like, yo, mom, I'm gonna go fight tonight. And she's like, I don't want to know about it. You know? She's like, what is this kid doing? You know, like, yo, my ears got messed up. I got my first cauliflower. And she's like, your ears. Your grandma, what are you doing?
Your grandma.
I'm coming home with black eyes, you know what I'm saying? And then my other ear gets messed up, and yeah, she thought I was they thought I was nuts for a little bit, you know? But they love me. Like, they've always supported me in anything I do. I've been super lucky that I have, like, really supporting parents, man. Like, they've been, and especially my family and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I think my mom's oh shit moment was like when I went to Thailand for 3 weeks, I never came back. I think then she's like, okay, this guy's for real.
Yeah,
you know?
that might be a thing. Yeah.
When I told her I got a job teaching in Singapore, she was like, yo, so wait a second. This thing that I thought you were crazy for doing is now getting you a job in another country? And she's like, all right, maybe you're onto something here. And ever since then, she's kind of like been like my number one supporter. You know?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's all right, you know. They just want the best for me, you know.
Do you have a preference as to them physically going to the fights or not?
Yeah, they've never seen me fight.
Okay.
I've never fought in front of nobody. I've never fought in front of. I've only fought amateur. Like, I think the last time I fought in front of all my friends and family, I was like in my 4th amateur fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I made my pro debut overseas.
Right.
So
how was that? And you know, I wanted to wait a little bit more before we got into pro, but we'll get into pro right now. How was that? And did he feel like the underdog in the sense that you didn't have anybody physically there? You were alone in that sense. Although you had your Thailand family, you didn't have your direct family there.
Yeah. Not too much, honestly, because my first professional fight, I was teaching in Singapore, and then and I was teaching with a friend of mine, a local Miami fighter, Joe Ray.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Ray.
Big shout out.
Big Bubba. He's the reason why I went to Thailand. We were teaching together in a gym in Singapore, and then the boss in Singapore got me a job in Malaysia, which is like it's a country next to Singapore. It's like and then we went on like a bus. The day before, we went on the day of the weigh-ins. We went on a bus to Malaysia. And then, so I was able, it was all right. It was pretty chill. It was pretty chill. It was like a really small, like rinky-dink show.
Right.
But I went with like went with a squad. You know, I went with the team that my gym was with. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it was a cool trip. And I went with my buddy Joe Ray, who was there for my pro debut. You know?
Damn.
Yeah, it was like, what was it, $50 USD?
Damn. Okay.
It was 80 ringgit. I don't know, 80 Malaysian ringgit. I don't know how much that is. I think it works out to like $50 USD.
Damn.
But yeah, it was like a real like small fight. The whole key was, the only bad thing about that was, it was like, man, a lot of bad decisions. We cut weight. I was in a tournament, so I was supposed to like be like a tournament, 3 fights. So then the key was I had to make weight, and then like I was a little bit over, so I had to like make bantamweight. So yeah, that was, other than that, it was just like, for that one, it was like the battle was making bantamweight for the first time, you know?
Brother, you're fighting for $50. That's how you know you got a passion for it.
Yeah, but it was like, it was for a tournament, you know? So it was like a long haul thing, you know, where like, it was like a tournament, like, yeah. But it was just to get your foot in the door, you know, like trying to get your pro debut, you know, like,
course.
Yeah, just, you know, like putting your dues, I guess, you know?
Did you feel like there was it overwhelming, the amount of competition? Because you know how we were speaking about before we started shooting, it seems like fighting is a very regular thing, kind of like going to the movies over here. Like it's the norm over there. Were you overwhelmed by the amount of competition?
Well, I was there training MMA, and I was doing Muay Thai, but I wasn't like a Muay Thai fighter. Like, whereas like the Muay Thai lifestyle, I think is a little bit different for these guys.
In what sense?
So like in MMA, I was fighting about once a month, like trying like, and like in my best year, I was fighting once a month, once every 2 months.
Sheesh.
And then for MMA over there, that's like fighting in China and like different shows and stuff. But for the Muay Thai fighters, they fight a lot more often. There's a lot more people that are just living in Thailand, because Muay Thai is a national sport there.
Wow.
So they'll have like a lot of foreigner fighters, like they're called like Falang fighters, and they'll be fighting sometimes. If they're trying to get on stadium fights and like big money fights with like big bets, where they're like maybe like against another gym, where they like the 2 gyms will bet against each other, and maybe that's how they'll make their money or something like that. You know, those guys are gonna be fighting like the Thai people who are Muay Thai fighters. They might fight once a week, once every 2 weeks. You know,
what toll does that have on the body?
Oh, it gets. I could only imagine. You know, like it's got to be no joke. But the Muay Thai, man, like when they build that, it's kind of crazy. Like some of these guys have that frame that's kind of built for it. You know, it's like a lot of kick heavy. You know,
right.
But man, it's a vicious sport. It's right. Vicious. I always say with Muay Thai, there's no second option. You know, MMA, if I get out of if something happens, I can go for a takedown.
Right.
You know, if it gets crazy and I'm getting beat up, I have plan B.
Yeah, oh, dude.
In Muay Thai, there's no plan B. You get put in front of, and like the matchups, or you never know how the matchups are going to be.
You think they're lopsided?
It depends. Like, it can be lopsided in your favor. It can be lopsided against you. Like, maybe it's your 3rd Muay Thai fight, and everybody goes, and then when they weigh you, there's no like, oh, this is the guy you're going to fight. Like, you get there, and everybody gets there, and it's like, all right, who's there? So people say they're gonna go there, but it's not like it's not like a commitment or a signed contract. So maybe the gym like Sinbi Muay Thai, well, down the street, they'll be like, all right, we're sending 4 guys, 84 kg, and then they say how many fights the guy has. And usually if the trainer's good, he'll underscore your fights a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna hedge your bets, dog, you know?
Damn.
And then like, but it can go against you too. Like maybe they hedge your bets, but the thing is funny, like everybody's doing it. Right? So like maybe they hedge your fights and then they hedge the other guy's fights. So then like it says 2-0 versus 2-0, and then you see like a super high level fight. You're like, oh, these guys have both been training for 10 years, you know?
God damn.
But there's 3 levels of fights in Muay Thai that you're gonna get as a foreigner. You might fight like a tuk-tuk driver.
Okay.
You might fight like a taxi driver.
Yep.
Who maybe he's good or fights, but you know, at the end of the day, he's a taxi driver.
Yeah.
You might fight another foreigner.
Okay.
Okay, like you.
Okay.
That's gonna be like super fit, like, you know, or you might fight a real experienced Thai.
God.
And then the experienced Thai, that's like the gamble, because sometimes you get a guy that he was gonna fight in the main event, and his opponent didn't pull up or something like that, and then you're the same size, and they'll be like, oh, you, same, and then they just put you together, you know?
Oh,
so,
fuck. God.
I've seen some of my friends have some, like they're in the main event for the title fight, and they're like, oh, snap, you know?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like there was any sense of corruption there?
You could see, like, as in corruption, how, like, with the betting and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's always, there's between the Thai gyms, you can see like there's like a lot of drama. You
Oh,
know? Yeah, because the betting's huge in Muay Thai. So sometimes the salaries won't be too much, you know, like what would a main event guy? Like a main event guy might get like 20,000 baht, you know, which is like what? 800 USD.
Damn.
Right? But then like you know, but then there'll be like 100,000 baht bet on the fight with like the two gyms. So maybe like the owner of his gym feels he's gonna win, so then they'll bet the other gym. Wow. And then all the trainers will put down like $300. All the trainers will put like money together, and then the fight was like a regular fight, but then it just became a huge fight.
Damn,
and then that's why you see like
that was a Mayweather money fight.
Yeah, and then when you see the two corners going crazy, like you see the little kids, you know,
that's because they got fighting, money in there,
and they're telling them go, 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 and it's because they all got like $5,000 invested, you know.
Holy shit. Yeah. Oh my God.
And it's fun, you know, it makes it fun. Like when I go, I always bet on my friends and shit, you know?
Hell yeah.
Like I remember one time I bet on there's this really good Muay Thai fighter. And then I remember I was fighting in the same area where the Muay Thai fights were. And me and Joe Ray, we went to go watch after I weighed in, we were like wanting to like kill time. So we went to go watch the Muay Thai fights. And we're like, oh, this kid's fighting. And I bet money on the kid, but then I forgot I saw that kid partying like 2 days before, and then he got gassed down and lost. I was like, oh.
Damn.
He's like a good fighter, but then I just realized I forgot. I saw him out partying like a couple days before. I should have known better.
And you got to remember those details too, man.
Yeah, it's just the one time I remember the betting kicked me in the butt. You know?
Right, that makes a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have I said 3 segments, and the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? And then this beautiful segment, you know, you go to our social media, Instagram in particular, on the Saturday before we have a guest, and you yourself can submit questions that we'll read out on the air to our guest. You know what I'm talking about? And that's Mail Time. I stole it from Blue's Clues. And here we go. These are the questions that the people clamor, my brother. All right. What would you say has been your most difficult fight to date, and why?
Oh, so for sure, I fought this kid, Li Kai-wen.
Okay.
From China.
Okay.
That was for sure my most difficult fight.
Why?
I lost, and it was like, the fight was it was a pretty short notice. I took the fight on like 3 weeks notice.
Okay.
And then but I had a good feeling about it, you know, and then the preparation was a little bit crazy, but we the fight ended up it was like, oh man, like the kid was known for having like good power, and like I had a friend who trained with him before, so I kind of like knew what to look out for. And then like in the first minute of the fight, boom, he clips me. I go down, and then I tried to take him down. Like I remember I fall down. I'm like, oh man, this is exactly like everything I didn't want to happen is happening right in this freaking first minute, you know. And I went for the takedown, and then he started kneeing me like crazy, because you can do the knees there, you know. Just like pow, 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 and I was like, and then I remember getting back up, and I felt like I was feeling all right.
But you were down, and he was kneeing.
I don't even know what happened. Yeah, I was like rocks. Then we get back up, and then something happens. Boom, boom, boom. I ended up taking him down. And then it was just a crazy round. I almost died like in the first round. I got dropped like 42 times. I make it to the second round, and then now he's exhausted. And then the second round, I'm putting it on him, you know, and I'm feeling good.
Dang.
And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And just like, oh man, I was like, I had this good feeling, and you know, I had this good feeling. Like you could feel the energy in the fight coming, you know? Like I felt like the fight was getting out of him. I'm taking it to him, boom, kicking him good. Like the tides are starting to change. He's like looking exhausted. And then, I remember the round ended, bomb, and like I'm still looking at him, and just like, and then I remember my coach in the third round was like, all right. And I remember telling my coach, I was like, yo, tell me at 2.5, I'm gonna take him down. Like if I don't finish him, like steal this round, and then we got this. And then like same thing, I kind of like got a little bit crazy, and then he ended up finishing me like with like 2 minutes left after I came out a little bit too aggressive in the third round, you know, like I was taking it over in the second round. In the third round, I was coming back. And then just clipped me at the end, and then it was like a mess. It was a crazy fight. It was like we got the number 9. It was the number 9 most crazy fight in ONE FC history. So
damn,
if you're gonna lose in the
lose with a bang, brother.
Lose with a bang, dog. You know. So, but it was a mess. I was banged up after that fight. I was really banged up, dog. Like. That's when I was like, yeah, you need to make some changes, you know? Like, I still feel like, yeah.
You were concussed?
I was really bad concussed, you know? Like, I remember after the fight, we took a picture together. We looked like like yeah, we looked like just two guys. Like both our faces were ballooned up. You know, and then probably should have went to the hospital, but I was like, nah, I'm all right, you know. And then just went home, went back to the hotel, and I just like, yeah, I had headaches. It was bad, yo. It was no joke. You know, it took me like a long time to recover. I remember, like, my ankles were like swollen for like, I'm sure anybody who's like had like a kick heavy fight.
Right.
My ankles and my toes.
Those calf kicks
swollen.
are big, yo.
So yeah, it was a rough fight, and then like just the repercussions. You know, it took me a while to recover. I couldn't fight for a while after that. You know.
Yeah.
So that was definitely my hardest fight. You know, that I lost, but. Actually, I have a fight that I fought 5 rounds. That was probably harder, but yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, I had a fight that I fought 5 rounds once. That was probably for sure my hardest, like, endurance-wise.
Oh, wow.
I forgot about that.
What do you say the difference is like, you know, this isn't one of the questions, but is the difference night and day as far as the 3-rounder and the 5-rounder?
I'm not it's different. It's totally different. Like, you should fight different. But man, like for me, the time that I did it, just like it was like overdrive, you know, like you just kind of like you go into this mode where it's like, I remember my buddy, my buddy Brad, he's fighting soon in December. My buddy Brad was cornering me, and then like he's like, I think it was after the 4th round. He's like, "How you feeling?" I was like, he's like, "I'm tired." He's like, "What are you gonna do? You got no choice. You got to finish." It's like, all right, I know, you know. So it's just like, yeah, afterwards, like, I feel like in the 4th and 5th round, you just get into overdrive, and you don't even, like, it's like when you're, like, running, and you just get into that mode where you break into it, and you're just in that zone.
Oh, you got that rhythm. You got that rhythm going.
Yeah. I think in the 4th and 5th, you just get into that rhythm. You know?
Oh, all right. That's beautiful. The second question from our Mail Time segment. How was your comedy debut different from your pro debut?
Oh, that's a that's a great question. They both went terrible. My pro debut, was it amateur debut or pro debut?
Give us pro debut.
Oh, okay. Oh man, it was different, dude. It was way different. Like my pro debut, I felt like I was already like an experienced, like I was like experienced amateur, you know, like I've been competing for 4 years. I had 4 years in the game. I was a purple belt.
Oh, bro, you were in your stripes, brother.
I was coaching in Singapore. I had fought Muay Thai in Thailand, you know.
Oh man.
So it was like a totally different thing. My pro debut was more like it's not are you gonna win? It's like you're supposed to win impressively and like an impress, you know, like your coaches and shit and stuff like that. Like the pro debut was more like an experience thing and like learning how to cut weight. To be honest, you know, like the way that my manager at the time had it set up. My comedy debut was so bad, yo.
Why?
So bad. It was so bad.
Why bad, bro? What you mean, bro?
It's just like, I don't know, man. Like when I started,
was it at the Improv, your debut?
No.
Okay, because that's tremendo, you know, like.
My comedy debut, I was like, all right, I've been wanting to do this. I moved, when I was living in Thailand, my teammates were like, I used to make people laugh. And honestly, I think it's just a Miami thing, bro. Like, people from Miami were different, yo. We vibe on a different frequency.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when people from other places meet us, they never met nobody like us.
100%.
This crazy energy, dog, you know? And we come from a place that doesn't sleep already.
Bro, if you go to another state and like you go in to say hi to a girl, you kiss her cheek, they're looking at you like they about to me too you is weird, brother. It's happened to me, brother.
Yeah, exactly, dog. But everything is like, I think like a level up. Like we speak faster. You know what I'm saying? Like we can always like, I'm always, you know, the last ones. We can party, dog. We can do everything in the city, you know? So I think I kind of stuck out. So I used to make my friends laugh a lot. Like, like my teammates and stuff like that. And then, and I had experience speaking when I used to be like, when I was getting in trouble, when I used to be in those programs and stuff, I used to go and speak in those places. And when I used to speak, I used to make people laugh, you know, I used to go say my story, you know, I used to call it like your experience, strength, and hope. Right. That's what they call it, you know, and I'll be there and I'll just make people laugh. So then I had like the seed was planted a long time ago. I wrote some jokes. And then I went up there and then I tried to say something that I thought of on the way there. And then it was just like, yo, it was bad, yo. Like everything I thought was like, nobody laughed. I couldn't see anything. There was like a real like light in there. And it just but it did feel very similar to my first amateur fight where it's like, oh snap, like doing it at that level. Like you can feel the intensity, you know, like everything slows down when you get up there. Like the guy was like, yo, have you ever done it before? I was like, nah. And he's like, all right, I'll give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah, and he's like, when you see the light, that means you have 1 minute left. And I was like, oh, 3 minutes, I got this. You know?
Before you continue, what's longer, 3 minutes in the cage or 3 minutes on stage?
It depends, bro. Like, for sure, in the cage, dog. In the cage, you know, like you gotta think, you gotta do all that on top of the.
Right.
But yo, when you say something and they don't laugh, oh man. This is the stage that I'm in now.
Oh man, I know that all too well, bro.
I'm in that stage now, dog. So it's like I'm just trying to get used to like just being. I'm just trying to get comfortable speaking on stage. You know?
Did you go with any sort of like pre-written, or were you kind of just like doing shit top of your head?
All right. So the first time that I did, when I moved to Bangkok, they have comedy clubs there.
Okay.
And I was living in Phuket, which is like a small island. And one of the reasons why I went to Bangkok is like I was already kind of like during COVID, I was writing some jokes.
Okay.
I had like 2 or 3 jokes that like I felt comfortable with.
Okay.
I was like testing on people, and I would see them kind of smirk. You know?
Okay, and you would drop them on just like your friends.
Yeah, and like I was like training people and like my students. I would tell my students, and then I would practice the jokes like when I would teach class. So I'd be like in Tiger Muay Thai. I was teaching jiu-jitsu in Tiger for a while.
With a side of comedy, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like I'll be teaching a move, and then I'll have some jokes that I'll fit into like when everybody's there, and I'll try to make them chuckle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
So I had some go-tos that I learned from teaching.
Hell yeah!
And then the first time I did stand-up, I didn't say any of the jokes that I written down. I blanked up there. I totally forgot everything, bro. It was real bad. You know, like I went up there and I was like, I just moved back, and then I said some joke, and then like I started speaking real fast. And it was like it was a hurricane.
I wish I was there, bro.
It was a train wreck, bro. And then I got off, but I felt really good when I got off, man.
Hell yeah. Who doesn't?
I felt really good, dog. I was like, you know what? That was terrible. It was 3 minutes, but this is something that, like the training, I've always wanted to do, and because of fear and doubt, and like doubting myself and like being my own enemy, like not pursuing it before, you know. And even when I was in Bangkok, I was like chickening out. I googled some open mic spots in Bangkok when I was there, and I remember one night I was gonna go on a Friday after training, and I didn't go, dog. I punked out, you know what I'm saying? In Bangkok, bro.
Damn.
So coming back to Miami, when I booked that ticket, I was already looking at like open mics. I was like, I have to do this when I go back. So like my first week, the first open mic I found, I went.
Mad respect.
And it was real bad, yo. But then I went back the next day. And I went with a piece of paper of the jokes that I wrote, and I had like 2 people laugh. Some people laughed at some of the jokes, yo.
That's fucking awesome, man.
And then that's it. And then I was like, well, I had already got it. Like even the first day, man, like I got back to my car and I was like, yo, I wrote down the date. I got home. I put the date down on my little board. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, here we go. You know, like open the door, you know?
Damn, brother, I'm proud of you. That takes fucking tremendous amount of balls, man. It really does. It really does, man. And the last question from our mail time segment goes like this. What made you go to Thailand?
Ooh, boom. Another great question. So when I first started training, I started training at a gym I started training at this gym, right? I'm training at Hidden Lotus now, Zen Jiu-Jitsu.
Hell yeah, big shout out.
Big shout out to Zen Jiu-Jitsu, Hidden Lotus.
Big shout out Alex and Jose Caceres.
Jose, our coach Enrico Coco,
yes,
the Zen master.
Big shout out.
So I was training at another gym before. Okay. And then when I signed up there, all the coaches in that gym were in Thailand, yo. Okay, this is my first week. I sign up, and they're like, yo, your coach is this guy. Your coach is Coco, this is that, but they're out of town right now. So you're going to have like an assistant coach for now. My boy Dennis Hernandez. I'm sure everybody from the fight game knows Dennis.
Big shout out.
And then he was my first coach at this gym, you know. And then the gym was they would release YouTube videos. There was no social media. I think there was YouTubes for sure. And they're releasing videos of them training in Thailand. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. But I was just started training. I didn't know anything. So I was like, okay, I need to get good first.
Right.
So when I first started training, in the back of my head, I was like, damn, bro, I want to get good enough so that I can go fight and train in Thailand. I was like, and then when I was amateur, when I was going to make my pro debut, I saved up money because I was like kind of like planning to like do a trip there. And I ended up staying there and like living there. Like my buddy Joe Ray was there. And then I met up with them when I got there, and he kind of like put me down and set me up.
Damn.
Yeah, but like I found the dream, like the seed got planted. I could tell you, like in 2009, yo, like when I signed up at the gym, all the team was in Thailand. They were like making videos, going to the Muay Thai fights, and they were talking about the lifestyle. And my coach Enrico Coco had been there he gone there for a month too.
Oh wow.
And he was always telling me about Thailand. He would always tell me about the training. He's like, yo man, you go there. He's like, you can train. He's like, you get massages for like fucking $6. He's like, it's a great fighter lifestyle, you know?
Wow, man. $6. I love a good deal, brother. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So it's just conducive to training and fighting. Like, it was like going like, I call it like going in the hyperbolic time chamber, yo. For like Dragon Ball Z.
Great
you know?
reference. Great
like,
reference.
In Phuket, like you can live like, all right. And if I was training coming up in Miami, it would have been the same. I would feel like I would have been doing the same game. It just would have been different, you know?
Yeah, and more expensive.
More expensive, you know? Like maybe I make the same money for my pro debut. Like on my second, third fight, if I'm making like $1,000, $1,500, you know, it's gonna last you. I think it'll last you far in Miami, you know.
But
that same money, if I was living in Thailand and I'm like on my third fight, I made that, and I can live for a month, live humbly. You know what I'm saying? Staying in the gym. You don't do anything, you know. Like you eat chicken and rice.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, for lunch.
Yeah.
But you get to live a fighter lifestyle.
Damn.
So you gotta be willing to make the sacrifice. And it kind of sucks because you're gonna be broke for a while, but you can get better. So that's how I looked at it. I was just getting better, and I was able to train every day for like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
For the last 8 years, I've been able to train every day, dog. You know?
Wow.
But, I mean, twice a day, every day.
Right.
So.
It's a blessing right there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sending in those questions. You know what I'm saying? Every Saturday, tune in and send those questions. My brother, I do want to ask, what was one of the biggest or 3 big culture shocks that you had gone through when you first dived into this unknown? You know what I'm saying? When you moved into somewhere you had never been there before. Wow. That's fucking ballsy. Yeah, what are some of the culture shocks that you underwent?
All right. When I first went to Thailand, so you get there, whatever. Thailand's pretty chill. When I went out to the party area, bro, that was crazy. Like the first time I saw it, it was like I was like super shy, like scared, you know, like
Yeah.
They got like the girls out there to like and like have like ping pong show. It's called like Bangla Road.
What's that? I don't know what's happening.
Bro, Bangla Road is like
She understands the reference. I don't.
Like, yo, it's like the South Beach. Nah, not even South Beach, dog. Cause South Beach, it's like.
Oh, is that the?
What do you call it, yo? Like Mexico, bro. Mexico City, dog. You know when people when people talking about going to Mexico and getting crazy.
Is that the Lady Boys thing?
Nah. But they're there too.
Respect.
It's part of the package.
Shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so that spot they have like these bars where like you can go in like go-go bars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because prostitution's like it's legal. It's illegal, but it's legal there.
Respect.
Like, the police is like
It's like a damn dispensary in
like
California.
they don't know what's going on. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no government regulation on it. You know?
Right. Gotcha.
So I remember my friend took me there, and that's a crazy spot because like if you're like you go there and you're a foreigner, and they're like, oh, massage, and they're all like, you walk down the street and they're all just like screaming at you.
Oh, I know what massage means,
like,
brother.
Yo, then they grab you and you get scared at first. You're like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you get used to it, and you just realize, then you become normal, and it just becomes like, it's just like the way it is, you know, and you get like adjusted, you know?
Okay.
But the first time I saw that, it's so funny, where like you look at me like 2 years later, I'm like, I was way more chill, dog. Like next thing you know, I'm like hanging out, eating fried chicken with the lady boys and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're my friends, it's all good.
Hell
you know?
yeah.
But like the first time going there, like seeing just that party area, there's this one spot where people would know. There's like this one bar where like, you got girls like dancing on the poles and like people. It's not and like people go there with their kids and stuff like that. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
So,
It's
like
like
you
a-
see like Russian people with their family and you're like, man, you're just. I guess it's like when you see people walking in Vegas and like all the craziness, you know.
Right.
So the first time I saw that was like crazy. I was like, that was a big culture shock. I was living in Singapore, and so I went to Singapore. Like I went to Thailand for a 4-week trip.
Okay.
And then I got a job teaching jiu-jitsu in Singapore. So I was about to go home to America. My time was up. I was a little bit sad. And then my boy was like, yo, you want to go to Singapore? And I was like, what? And I was like, I don't speak Chinese. I never heard of Singapore. I thought it was part of China, you know? And he's like, nah, they speak English there. And I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. He's like, you live in a gym, you know, and you get like, the salary's not that good, but you can stay living in Asia. You know, he's like, yo, you could save money there and you can come back and train in Thailand. So I had a decision to make, because I was like, either I go home and go back to my job and stuff, or I go to Singapore, you know?
And what was your job at the time?
I was working at Carrabba's, yo.
Oh, respect, bro.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I was working at Carrabba's, and I have people my customers there, that like my locals, my regulars, I used to take care of.
Hell yeah.
They used to be like, you're going to go to Thailand? And I'd be like, yeah. And they're like, how long you going to go for? And I go, I don't know. I said, my flight's booked for 3 weeks, but hopefully I don't come back. And that shit happened, yo. I swear, it's crazy. It was wild, man.
Damn.
You know, like, I don't know what that was, but, like, it's legit. Like, so then...
Shout out to the manager at Carrabba's. Were they angry or?
Nah, yo, because they knew. They knew I was
Okay,
like,
gang.
they knew already. I told them I was taking a leave of absence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was the trip was for 3 weeks. you
Oh
know?
man, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, so then I ended up going to Singapore, dog. And then in Singapore, I was able to stay, you know? So went on a tangent there. I forgot what the question was.
Brother, half the time I ask what, you know what I'm saying? I forget what the question is, you know what I'm saying? But that's my life.
Oh, the culture shock. I got you. Sorry. The culture shock. I went to Singapore.
And besides, yeah, because I know you were talking about the parties. That was the big one.
Yeah, and then when I went to Singapore, yo, the first time I saw people eat with their hands.
Oh, word?
Yeah. There's like like the
And what-
Malays and like Indians, like there's like the way you eat that food there, you can eat with like there's a style like a chicken, like banana leaf food where
Yes.
it comes like on a leaf and you eat with your hands. And I went to a food court once in Singapore, and the people from the gym were like, yo, go to this place, there's like good food there. And I was like, all right. So I went alone. They told me how to get there, and like I took a walk. And I remember I was in the food court and I seen like a bunch of people eating with their hands. And I was like, yo, what's going on here? And I went back to the gym. I was gonna complain to the people in the gym. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then they were eating with their hands at the gym.
And we're not talking about French fries. We're talking about like wet
legit.
food.
There's like wet food. There's a technique and everything, yo.
Oh,
if
brother.
if we ever go to
The
Asia, dog,
technique is grab a
I'll show you how
damn
to do it.
fork, bro.
Look, you gotta go. You go into the knuckles like this. They eat like that. I swear. And then they go like this.
I was about to say
And
something.
you pick it with your hand. Yeah.
But wow.
But that was like I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, what is that? You know?
Damn.
There's a lot of weird things, you know?
Talk to me about the cost of living. You know, you were talking about $6 massages. Is the food cheap there as well? I mean, does it correlate to the pay that you're getting?
Yeah. So it is. If you go there, like if you save money, like if you save cash in the USD and then you go there, it'll last you a long time. But if you're living there making salary like based on Thai people, it makes sense. It's like normal. It feels like normal living, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So like, but if you can go there and like sometimes like if you have like digital nomad or something, or
Okay.
like you're a crypto guy and you're just making like weird like money on the internet.
Shout out Chino, dog. You know
There
what I'm
you go.
saying? Gang.
So if you're making money on the internet where you don't need like to be living it like, and you can live there, it's you can live good because you can kind of like live your ideal lifestyle, man. Like it's pretty trippy, you know. So
Damn.
yeah,
Give
the
me
food's
an
really
idea.
cheap.
Yeah, give me an idea. What if I go to that food court? What am I spending on a full plate of food?
All right, so like a go-to dish that we always get for lunch is like a chicken and rice with like
Okay.
a little thing of you get like a kamungai, it's called, like
Respect.
a chicken rice, and you get like 2 different types, and depending on it's like a little food cart, and then you can get a few different types. They have like steamed chicken, they have roasted chicken, and then fried chicken.
Okay.
The best one is the roasted, yo. That's the fire one, but it's
Okay.
always out quick, dog. So you get the fried. I like to mix, and you get the trio, you know.
Yeah, hell
And you
yeah,
get
bro.
all 3, dog.
That mystery meat, baby.
It's just for 60 baht, usually like 40 to 60 baht. If you get all 3 meats, like I get, it's 60 baht. But if you get the chicken and baht, if you get the chicken and rice, like yo, every country has
And what do we
Chicken
think
rice.
for 60 baht? What is that?
$2, dog.
Damn.
It's $2. And
Boy, I'm moving to Thailand, bro.
you
Say
go
less.
$2. And then like, yeah, you can get like dishes, like you can get dishes, you know, and like would you like Asian style where people they don't really have like what we usually do is like instead of ordering like you get the ropa vieja,
Yeah.
you get the like everybody gets their own dish, we'll just get a bunch of little dishes.
Bro, yesterday I paid $3 just to park, bro, and it put me in a bad mood, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with one less dollar, bro, I get a whole plate of food. That's what I'm gonna tell them next time they want $3 to park. G shit, bro. That's insane. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm saying? We have 3. I said 3 segments, and the second one is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious, legendary guest for a suggestion, a recommendation. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got 2,000 people in front of you, and they got like 2 hours to kill because boom, you're about to have a phenomenal performance, whether it be inside the cage or on the stage, and that rhymes. What would you recommend them to watch? Whether it be a movie, a TV show, Netflix, Hulu, whatever it is, maybe something that you're binging right now, maybe a stand-up special, whatever it may be, ideally 5 out of 5 stars. What would you recommend for the people to watch?
Oof. Like, it's got to be new or is it like anything?
Brother, it could be whatever you want.
Yo, I saw a good one called Train to Busan on Netflix.
Ooh, yes.
Pretty good, dog.
Yes.
I know people don't know about it. You know, maybe
Bro.
something Asian, dog. I hit him with some Asian shit.
Hell yeah, something Asian,
Have you seen
bro.
that one?
Yes, I have.
Yo, it's underrated.
Bro, I really enjoyed it, and they're dropping the second one, but it's gonna be made in the U.S. I have low expectations.
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up, bro, because the Korean movies have been pretty good, yo.
Oh, man.
They got that like they got like that hard, I don't know,
Oh
work
yeah,
ethic or something.
And what was this one that they the one that was fucking nominated for the Oscar?
Parasite.
Yeah.
What do you think? I saw it. I didn't know. I mean, I gotta see it again and like pay a little bit more attention, but I'm not.
I
too
think
sure,
I like
man.
Train to Busan more, but I liked Parasite. I liked Parasite. You know what I'm saying? But damn, is there anything else? Maybe a TV show or a stand-up special?
Oh man, TV show. My favorite TV show is The Office.
Respect, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
what I'm talking about,
Office,
bro. Fuck yeah.
The Office is probably for sure like my favorite, and then my favorite movie is Rocky, yo.
Hell
That
yeah.
explains my shit in a nutshell. You know? Rocky's my favorite movie all time, hands down.
Have you
Probably,
climbed the iconic steps?
Nah, yo, I gotta go to freaking Philadelphia, man.
Is
That's
it
my
Philly?
next-
It's Philly, right?
Yeah. That's one of my goals I gotta do. I haven't been nowhere in America, dog. I've been all over Asia. I gotta hit America now.
I was about to say you are a well-traveled man.
Yeah, but I haven't done nothing in America, dog. So
Not
I think
even
it's
like
time to hit up the US.
Not even like New York, Cali, nothing.
I went to New York once. Did a
Okay.
jiu-jitsu tournament in New York. You
And rode out.
Yeah, dog. Like we did a jiu-jitsu tournament once in New York, and then we did a jiu-jitsu tournament one in Boston once.
Okay.
So I've been to Boston just for grappling tournaments with our team, dog, with Coco, you know. So.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, like I want to travel. I've never been to the West Coast, yo.
Wow.
Yeah, have you ever been to California and stuff?
I've been to Cali a couple times. I enjoy it. It's definitely a different vibe. You don't get the humidity that you do here. I'll tell you that. But you still get the warmth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a different type of heat, you know?
Yeah. By the way, thank you for those movie suggestions, phenomenal recommendations. And kind of on that same train of thought, when you're in the zone, let's say it's fight day or fight week, what do you like? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you in a bad mood because of the weight cut? Are you, do you have headphones on the entire week or the entire day listening to Lose Yourself or whatever the fuck? Yeah, what's fight week like for you, brother?
Yo, fight week's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fight week's my favorite because like all the training's done, dog. You know, so like fight week is my favorite. That's like that's the time to enjoy. You know, like enjoy the process. Some people don't. I mean, I've been fighting in one championship for the last 4 years, so
Okay.
we don't have to cut weight there.
Oh yeah, one of the big.
So-
And do you have I'm assuming you prefer it.
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind it at all. You know, like you fight at your natural weight, and then you can still lose a little bit of pounds on the fight week. You gotta maintain, but it's more like weight maintenance. It's not weight loss that week. So this is good. It's ideal for like performing. You know, like I feel like I'm always at my best when I can perform like that. You know. But I like fight week, man. Fight week is the week that like I usually like get to travel, go to. I mean, now with the corona, things have been changed. Like it's not
Yeah.
the same, you know. Like I fought with the corona, but before, man, fight week was my favorite because usually go to like the goal is to like travel, you know, like go fly to a new country.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an adventure, dog. I like it. I look at it like that, bro. Like it's like I'm going to war, you know. Like when I'm packing up my bags, it's like the best, you know. Like I get my hair cut.
Hell yeah.
On Sunday, I always do like I used to go get a massage. I get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? I got my uniform like laid
Right.
out, a dog. Like I love fight week. You know, like
So you
and
feel like a
then-
damn gladiator,
yeah,
bro.
and then like I pack my stuff up, and then like you travel with, and then usually you go with your corner man. It's like a good friend of yours. So
Hell
like,
yeah.
It's like I'm spending good quality time with like usually one of my best friends. You know?
Hell yeah. I always said, bro, like I don't know why it is for me, but when you can get paid to travel somewhere to do what you love, that's when you know you made it, bro. That's fucking dope,
There you
man.
go. There you go.
Like, oh. And kind of, I do want to ask, what was a moment that you sat back, took it all in, and kind of, you were like, fuck, like I'm with one championship. I get flown, all across the world to do what I love. At what point do you kind of sit back and take it all in and acknowledge your accomplishments?
I mean, you do for sure. Like I know after I won my debut and one championship, I was pretty pumped. You know, like I had like a lot of like goals and stuff like this, and yeah, man, like different little milestones. You know, like I'm still going. I try not to look too much. You know, like just try to look in the future. You know,
Right.
like short term memory. You know, win or lose. That's usually the goals. But yeah, I definitely like man. I've had a few different things. Like I remember winning my one championship debut. It was like I wanted to do that. You know, this is something that meant a lot to me. You know, and then winning my second fight and getting closer up the rankings and stuff. Yeah, a little. You don't see it when it happens,
Right.
but I feel like flying back now, just like when I was coming back to America in September, I thought about a few things. There's been a few like coaching at Tiger Muay Thai.
Right.
You know, this was like something that I really like. I'm proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like I started like I went there. You know, as a student. You know, paid to train.
Right.
Did the tryouts, and then I got on the team through the tryouts. You know, I was on the team for a long time. Lived there as a sponsored fighter. And then got into like a show, you know what I'm saying? And then and then towards the end of my fighting, I started coaching there. So like that was good because I was able to like, you know, do something that like was one of the goals, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch those videos there of them training in Tiger Muay Thai. I used to watch the videos and be like, yo, I want to do that one day.
Hell yeah, man.
So then the fact to be, you know, like in those videos, like a couple years, like 5 years later, like they make a video, you're like, oh snap, you know? It's pretty
Hell
cool,
yeah.
you know?
What was talk to us about the moment that you found out that you had made the team?
Well, I didn't really make the team, you know. I was like the B League, you know what I'm saying?
For real?
Yeah. So like I did the tryouts, and then the guys that got picked was like an all-star lineup, yo, freaking, and then but then they told everybody like, yo, the guys who we did like the Muay Thai tryouts, and then they were like, yo, the people who they picked the 5 guys who got the full scholarship with like training and then food and everything. They're like, then they hit me up after like, yo, then they gave like another 5 guys like a B team scholarship. Like, yo, you can still train here for free. They're not gonna pay for your housing, but you can train here for free. Like you can start training. They're gonna give me like a meal thing. So I had like a meal plan, and then I was able to like train there. And then I was still fighting, and then eventually I ended up like getting all the regular stuff anyways, you know.
Hell yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, so
What was
all
it?
right. I mean, it wasn't like a big deal, but it was just cool that like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. What was your experience there as a student like?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was a lot of fun because I got to train with people from all over in the world, you know. Like I got to train with some of the best guys in the world, man. I got to train with 4 of the current world champions in the UFC today. I've got to train with over there, you know. So I'm super lucky, man. I got to see what the best in the world does to win and like prepare, you know. So it gave me a lot of good insight and that I was able to take into my career, man, for sure. And training with all these guys and like making a lot of good relationships with people all over the world, you know.
If you could give any sort of advice to a young up-and-comer, someone that's maybe about to have their amateur debut or looking to have their amateur debut and is looking to build a career out of this, what are maybe some of the mistakes that you made that maybe they could avoid or any sort of advice that you would give a young up-and-comer?
Yeah, like consistency is key. You know, like just no matter what, you know, like you can't stop, you can't take breaks. You know, like the best. If there's anything I learned, like the best, like training through in and throughout. You know, it's like for sure like something that I've definitely made some mistakes in. Like getting out of shape. You know, like shouldn't be getting out of shape. You know, like if you're like an amateur and you're getting ready and you're competing, you know, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna compete and then take like a month off, and you know, like you should be like winning and then like going back to the gym training. It's like the winning is like just. It's not that like this is just a part of the process, you know. But like the goal is like if you want to get to that highest level, you know, like for sure. And then like good coaching, man. Like find yourself good coaches guys that like that are experienced and have been there and know the game, you know. Like gotta be careful out there that like you don't want like a coach that's like wants the spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
See like a lot of young guys you can get like you have a lot of good guys and they'll be really talented and they're good, and then like. Man, in the beginning, like you can win a lot of fights off of pure talent and aggression, and like you can have some bozo guy that doesn't know much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then and then they can get you somewhere, you know, but you can get hurt, you know. So like it's a dangerous sport, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
Your life's on the line every time you fight, and you got to remember that when you train, you know, you got to train like your life's on the line because it is. You know.
Did you go into your fights with that weight on your shoulders, or do you kind of just respect that notion that that your life is on the line?
I mean, I don't know. I never thought about it, honestly. You know, like just not maybe till recently. You know, like maybe just thinking about it like over the last few years or so. You know, like after like training for a while. You know, like getting banged up from the years and stuff like this. But yeah, like consistency. Like don't stop, man, and like. and embrace. You gotta like embrace those like you gotta embrace being like comfortable being uncomfortable. That's what my buddy Alec Volkanovski always says. That's what he always prides himself on. You know, like, and he's the champ of the world. You can see like this, like you know, like you gotta like live in that fire. You know, like like sometimes you can train and you can go to a session and you can coast. You know. Like it's an hour session, and what you get out of an hour, sometimes a lot of times can be up to you, you know. So sometimes you can go in and you can just train, but you're just training not to lose or just training to survive. Where I've gotten caught like this before, like where I let my ego get the best of me, and I don't want to put myself out there, and I don't want to get exposed. So then I don't really get better in training because I'm worried about losing, you know, or something like that, you know. So
wow. I want to ask right now. Are you kind of like multitasking in the sense of, are you focusing both on fighting and comedy at the same time? Is one taking a precedent? Talk to us about having to juggle both worlds.
So the comedy thing, I've only been doing it for 30 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like my first day was October 5th.
Hell yeah. And the fact that you know that like that, brother, it speaks volumes.
Yeah, October 5th, 2021. But I've been doing it every day, so I don't really know what this is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I've been seeing the posts. Every other open mic, you're there, brother.
Yeah, man. Like I got the list of open mics, and I got this thing about my personality that like when I like something and I find it, this is how it was how I am now with the comedy. I don't know what it's gonna be, but how I am now with the comedy is like how I was when I found martial arts.
Right, that bug.
Yeah, I got that bug, and it's crazy. Like it's like kind of taken over me since I got back to Miami. I haven't really done much, you know. Like I haven't really seen too many people because I train and I teach, and then afterwards I go and I want to go to these open mics, you know.
Damn.
So I've been going there. I've been like writing jokes and like I'm just trying to like practice my craft. So I don't really know. Like I don't know what it is with it, but I know I love it a lot. Like I love it. I've only been doing it for 30 days, so like I feel like I don't want to be like. You know, like there's been these guys out here that've been grinding for a long time. Right. You know what I'm saying? But as far as fighting goes, I'm gonna keep going. You know, I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off.
Hell yeah!
It's funny you say like, you know, I've lost my last 4 fights, yo. So and I just turned 35, right? So I'm like, damn, maybe I should stop. And I was like, well, I would stop. You know, like if I'm getting older, I'll take a memo. You know, like I'm not. What do you call it? Like not self-aware, you know, like if I need to stop and I have no problem with it and stepping down, it'll be hard and it'll suck, but if I love it and they're still gonna pay me to do it, you know what I'm saying? Then you know, then if I'm still living my dream, dog, and I'm doing my personal legend, then I'll keep fighting until I want to stop, you know. But for right now, if it's in my heart, you know, like right now I don't have anything coming up. And with the corona, I'm definitely, you know, I'm just training, you know, gonna get better, staying in the gym no matter what, you know, like whether I'm fighting or not, my lifestyle's not gonna change. Hopefully, you know. So
you always stay ready?
Yeah, like I'm training every day, you know. I'm not training for a fight or nothing like this, you know, but yeah, man, like I'll be preparing, and then when I'm ready to go, we'll make it happen, you know. I still have 3 more fights left on my contract.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And we look forward to them, my brother. We look forward to them. I got to ask, what would you say is, I guess, in your own perspective, one of the more controversial aspects of both your career and a decision, maybe a fight that went to a decision that maybe you thought slipped away from your grasp?
Oh man, I fought once in the Philippines, and it was at the time it was my best win, and then I lost by decision. But then I didn't realize I didn't understand the dynamics of the game at the time. I was like 6-2, and then I was fighting a guy who was like 2-3. Like I didn't realize that I should have finished him, you know. And I just decisioned him, and then when I decisioned him, it gave the betting people a chance to like change the fight. So when they say don't leave it into the hands of the judges, like you think, yeah, because you don't want the judges to like see something wrong, but it's way more than that, you know. It could be like, yo, they literally could just, if it's in their decision, they can just give the fight to, you know, if they're gonna make because I was supposed to finish that guy because my record was a lot better, so I didn't finish him and I wanted a decision, and then I got and then they gave him like a split decision. I took the loss. It was like really weird. I was like, oh, what the hell?
Damn.
Yeah.
So over there, if you're not getting a knockout, I mean,
it could be like that. It could be like that. You know, it's happened. It's not rare. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You definitely should try to get the finish. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? Especially like if you're fighting in China. Like I used to fight in China a lot before all this craziness. And like in China, they do these shows where it's like they'll just do like China versus the world. So they get all these Chinese fighters and they just fly in a bunch of foreign fighters from all over.
Bro, what in the damn Mortal Kombat is that, bro?
Yeah. So then like what happens is you get like these random. That's how it survived. Like that's how you would do it in the beginning. You know, like you take these random fights in China.
Right.
And then they'll just fly you in. It's funny because you don't even know where you're flying. You don't even know what city you're flying to. They just send you the ticket.
Bro, it's a volunteer kidnapping right there, bro.
Yeah, it's weird, bro. It's crazy, you know, like. And then sometimes they mess with you, like if you're fighting. Sometimes like they'll wake you up on fight day, and then you got to go to the immigration, and like do something. They'll be like, oh, it was like just to mess with you, you know, like to mess with the foreign fighters. You know what I'm saying?
For
like
real?
to disrupt your day, yo. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like a lot of dynamics. They give you like the worst flight, or they'll be like, you want to fight? And be like, yeah. And then they don't send you the ticket until like the day before you fly. So then I'll be like, yo, am I even fighting? You know?
Wow.
And then you wake up and you get your ticket like, oh snap, it's gonna happen. And then you go, you know?
God damn. What were some of the biggest differences that you noticed, whether it be in China or Thailand or whatever, from the fighting scene there and here?
There's no beef or nothing like that.
There's no talking shit?
Nah, like it's real chill. You know, like especially in China, like these guys, like they're very like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, they
Muay
show
Thai,
respect?
It's a lot of respect, especially in Muay Thai. And then because Muay Thai fighters fight so much, so here it's like everything is like not here. MMA, just the way it is with the topology and stuff, was win or lose or die for a lot of guys, right? Like the record is everything. A lot of people here, like they want to take care of the record, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like people trying to get to like the goals, like usually like you want to get to like 6-0, 7-0, and then go to the UFC.
Right, and everybody will duck everybody here in the amateur or even pro level, honestly.
Okay, so this happens, right? And I'm not gonna talk crap because that's the way. Like, yo, if you're a good manager, that's the way you probably do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you gonna have a guy? This is what the people who do are ducking or whatever. This is the game, but this is the game, dog. This is the game across the board from boxing and MMA and stuff like that. It's happening more now. You're seeing it a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Where in the beginning, like a lot of the guys, like Jose and like an Alex, like these dudes, they had a podcast. Like the guys that started my MMA, it wasn't like that back then.
Oh no.
There was no amateur. These guys, they all fought each other, bro.
It
was like you know what I'm saying? So there wasn't people that you can find to like there wasn't too many tuk-tuk drivers.
Right. Yeah.
So like the goal is usually like in MMA, you're losing is like bad, you know. But over there, and even MMA, like people don't really like fighting is like kind of normal. Like win or lose, like the Thai trainers, like if you lose a Muay Thai fight, they're not gonna like give you any. They're not gonna like really like bother you about it or anything. They're like, oh, it's okay.
Even if your gym placed money on you.
No, if your gym plays money on you, they're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be pissed.
I was gonna say,
yeah, they'll be pissed, but it's not like you know. I mean, you've heard some crazy stories. Some people have been kicked out of their gyms and stuff like that
for losing a fight.
Yeah, but that's like deep into the Thai culture. Like, with, like you know, you see people get like drama, but nothing. It's not. It's usually, bro. Like your team is your team, man.
Brother, are they still wrapping their hands with rope?
Nah, but they have karchuk. They have that MMA. They have that style of fighting still.
Oh wow.
In Muay Thai, in Thailand, it's called Thai fight.
Okay.
Where they have Sanchai still fights with it. Karchuk is where they tie you up with ropes and then you just use like
oh
yeah.
Man, I can
but
imagine.
It's still Muay Thai rules, you know.
But that cuts you up so bad.
Cuts you up a lot. And then you got then you also have Lethway, which is with headbutts.
Oh shit.
And takedowns, and that's like with just only hand wraps.
Oh damn! Shout out BKFC, bro.
Oh yeah. Lethway's a little bit different because it has headbutts, but BKFC is the boxing. So, now BKFC.
Right. Shout out Uli the Monster. Shout out Luis Baboon. You know what I'm saying?
This is like the next one, dog. That's like.
You think so?
That's like the most. This is like the most hardest one right now, bro.
No, 100%. Do you think it's gonna? Honestly, look, I didn't with the recent passing because there was someone that fought. They got knocked out, went into a coma because they had a spinal infection, and then they passed away.
Bare knuckle?
Bare knuckle.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, man.
This is what I'm saying. Your life's on the line, bro, and people don't even know, dog. This is great. Yeah, guy.
Yeah, man. It's insane. So I even I asked Baboon about it, and you know, we talked about it a little bit. But I'm surprised. So BKFC, obviously, they made a post, and it was one of those, you know, we contacted the families, and we're deeply saddened by this loss. I mean, your typical generic company apology. And I don't blame them. Like, I don't, but I was surprised that there was really no blowback to the organization for the most part because of the death. What do you think? Do you think like BKFC is too savage, too aggressive? Like, what are your 2 cents on it?
Yo, it's wild, man. Like, I seen people fight Lethway with the headbutts. I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's rough, man. The 1FC, one championship used to have weight cutting, and then a Chinese fighter died cutting weight, and that's why they made the weight cutting rule that how it is now, where every weight class jumped up 10 pounds.
And they've what is it? They measure the liquid content that you have.
Yeah, they do a hydration test.
Right.
So they like you got to pee in a cup, and then they have to make sure you have like a certain ratio of hydration, and then once you pass hydration, then you can step on the scale. But you can't step on the scale until you pass hydration. So a lot of times guys will be dehydrated. They'll be like, "Oh, you're dehydrated. You got to drink water," and then they drink water, and then they're overweight. So it's like you gotta like, but you have time, like over there since it's a new system. You have like 4 hours to make weight.
Okay.
So you can go there to the weigh-ins. If you're off, you can go upstairs and fix it because some people don't know about the process and you got to help them out. Right. Oh, and you got to weigh in 2 days.
2 days before.
2-day weigh-ins. Yeah, you got to keep. That's why you can't cut it because you got to maintain that same weight after the first day. So if you I fight on Friday usually, and then I weigh in on Wednesday, and then I weigh in on Thursday.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. And kind of like, I guess, if you're not weight cutting, are you kind of just walking around at your regular weight the entire fight camp, or are you cutting at all anything during fight week?
No, I usually, like, what happens is, like, I'm training and everything's all good, and then my weight's always fine. And then, like, when I get, like, 2 weeks out, I'm like, oh, my weight's good. And then I'm just eating like crazy, and I don't check the scale for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
And then on fight week, like, I'm like, oh, damn it. And then I gotta lose, like, 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
shit.
for my debut, where I'm used to fighting at bantamweight, which is 135, And I'm like, and then for my debut, it was at featherweight, which means I don't have to be any little minimum 155. So fighting at 155, I'm like, I can do whatever I want. I was eating crazy, bro. Like, it was like ridiculous. And then and then on fight week, I remember I was about to fly out, and then my friend's like, you're fighting? I was like, yeah. He's like, how much you weigh? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, you look big. And I was like, oh, really? And I checked. I was like, oh, snap. So,
bro, that's like when I'm doing jiu-jitsu, bro.
Sometimes I get a little crazy when I don't have to weigh in, when I don't have to,
man. Hell yeah. You have a couple, you know what I'm saying?
I just eat a lot.
Freedom,
Yeah. Just like, I'm not holding no punches, I have like a theory, feel good, fight good, do good, like,
hell yeah.
Feel good, do good, so.
Hell yeah. What are some of those things that, what I'm saying, that Hispanic cuisine that maybe you missed while you were abroad?
Oh, man. In Bangkok, I had a Cuban friend from Miami that had a restaurant over there. They had Cuban food.
A Cuban restaurant?
Yeah.
Damn!
Yeah. So I had some Cuban dishes. That was pretty dope. But like, what I missed, like cafecito.
Bro, come on.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I didn't really, what's super underrated that I've been eating a lot since I've been back, dog?
Key lime pie.
Empanadas. Like empanadas, arepas, like every morning, dog.
Hell yeah.
I go to the Cuban coffee spot. But the prices are high in Miami, dog.
Oh, man.
$6 for 2 empanadas and a Cuban coffee.
Oh,
what?
bro, don't even check the gas, bro.
That's supposed to be a $3 meal, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man.
What happened,
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like you go to Thailand with $2, bro. You damn get a mortgage payment. You know what I'm saying?
I feed a family. I feed my girl and her 3 kids.
Damn. Wow.
So it's not a joke, Cuban coffee, I miss Spanish food for sure, and Peruvian food like ceviche. I'm half Peruvian.
Ceviche. Oh, word?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I love Peruvian food. It's like one of my favorites.
Oh, ceviche's fire. Where do you go? What was it? Dr. Limon, I think it's called.
Dr. Limon is good. We'll go to La Bodega, in Kendall, like on 137th Ave. I like that one.
Hell yeah. Bro, do you feel like a responsibility representing that half of Peru when you go out to perform in any capacity?
I never thought about it, but when I started getting more popular, I was trying to like embrace my Spanish heritage, But usually wherever I go, the flag that I represent is America,
Right.
Because I was born in America, and then whenever and I send my passport to an organization, they put the American flag,
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So that's why they'll say fighting out of Miami or whatever the case.
Yeah, but I would love to push, I would love to get into that, the Spanish demo, I've never really got, being back in Miami, that's one of the things that, for sure. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel that how does that affect your crowd work, if you have any crowd work, or how does that affect the how people are reacting to your jokes? Do you have any sort of references to Hispanic culture in your material, or not yet?
Yeah, I'm trying, you know, like I do, but it's not funny. So I guess not. Like, I got some jokes I've been saying, and like I think they're funny in my head, but people don't. So, so I would like to. This is one of the things that, since I'm coming back in Miami, I need to like start writing about. This is things that are gonna be like, I'm still learning in the process,
of
you know, so, like,
course,
making
man.
jokes. So a lot of my jokes are pretty simple now, like based on like just easy things, just like from fighting and stuff like that. That I touch on, you know, like some family stuff. But yeah, I would for sure like to start getting into like some Spanish stuff. That I have some good correlations from living with like Hispanics and living with people in Thailand.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, dude, I feel like, oh man, I can't. I think those Thailand jokes would be fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, I need to get like more dated with Miami and America, you know?
Oh,
like
dude.
I'm a little bit out of touch, you know?
Right.
Things have changed.
You still got Lady Gaga jokes out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3. I said 3 segments, and the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, I pick a random emphasis on the word random card from this here deck of cards of questions. And I ask this random question to our guests in here today. And here we go. All right. And I try to do something that's not too, you know what I'm saying, deep. This one's a little deep. How deep do you want to get, brother? And I normally,
how low can we go?
You know what I'm saying? I normally don't find myself asking men that question too often, but I'll ask it, brother. All right. Okay, this one's a little deep, okay? But it's not as deep as the other one. The other one's like, oh, what's your most impressive moment in life, bro? All right, so here we go. What personality trait do you find attractive in others that you don't have yourself? Oh, on some Dr. Phil shit, bro.
That you don't have yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh. I would say that's a hard one, man.
That's a hard one.
What was it again?
What is a personality trait that you find attractive in others that you don't have yourself?
It was weird though. Like I would say discipline.
Okay, but you got discipline.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, but it's like different type of discipline, yo. Say it one more time for the.
So what's
the Jeopardy bunny? Can you repeat the question?
So
sir?
what's a personality trait
okay.
that you find attractive in a young lady? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a young lady.
Or in others, you know what I'm saying? It could be a friend. Midnight in Miami is very open-minded. We out here. That you don't have yourself.
Bro, I love somebody that can dance.
Oh, amen, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't dance, bro.
I got two left feet.
Jealous, man.
I got 2 left feet, bro.
This is like, how do you think? I was like, I can fight, but I can't dance. How does that make sense? But it's true. I never learned how to dance.
And you got footwork like a motherfucker too. Like,
well, maybe not. That's what my face looks like. This. Footwork wasn't necessarily my forte. But yo, dancing, bro. Like dancing, anything. A guy or a girl. Like if I have a friend who can be like, we go out somewhere and he can just be like, you know, and break it down. Like, oh man. Yeah. My friends used to be able to break dance when I was in high school.
Oh, me
like,
too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I used to do graffiti, you know, and then like I used to graph and they used to paint. They used to dance, and I used to go out and chill with them at night. And yo, when I see them up rocking and everybody gets around in the circle, you know what I'm saying?
It's like the Jabberwockies.
Yeah. So for me, that's one for sure, especially in a girl, like a girl that can dance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man.
Take your heart, dog. Like,
little salsita.
Stop everything, you know?
Oh.
Especially in Thailand, yo. Like, people love salsa.
In Thailand?
In Asia, dog. In Thailand, yo.
I have no idea.
Yeah, bro. Like, yo, you know who's a salsa king? Chino, dog.
Damn. Oh, yo, Chino was busting a move at the bowling alley the other day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Chino was like, yo, they have salsa night in Thailand. Like,
He was getting real hype with that strike, boy. You know?
They got like 3 times a week they got it there.
For real?
Yeah. And I had some Spanish friends in Bangkok, and they had like a bunch of salsa nights. I went once, and I couldn't believe it that I'm, 34 years old at the time. I'm from Miami. I'm Cuban, and then all these like Thai people and Japanese people are dancing better than me. They're all doing all the moves, At these, these salsa, it's like you go to these salsa nights, and it's like an international crowd,
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, yo. People love salsa, man. It's like it's a worldwide thing.
Dude, I had no idea they were that big into it over there.
So I need to learn, dog. That's my thing now. I gotta put that on my list. I gotta start dancing.
The man's got a list of things to do. You know what I'm saying?
Dancing is on him, dog. I gotta get in that center.
Damn. Okay. Beautiful, amazing answer. You know what I'm saying? Amazing answer. Before we start wrapping up this fantastic episode, this mammoth of an episode, I do want to touch on the comedy a little bit more. What are kind of like some of do you have any long-term goals as far as comedy?
Yeah, man. Like, I like, so as far as I'm concerned, like, I want to see as far as it can go. I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, I don't want to talk about it because it's only a month in.
Right.
So I don't want to be like talking crap. Like,
right. But by this time, it's a month and 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
All right, there you go. So like, I don't want to be like acting like some type of way, like, what is it, like a fraudulent or something like that? But like
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but like, but I got a bug. Like, I know myself. Like when I like something, I'm very ADD and I have like hard time to focus. But when I find something and I love it, like
right.
it happens usually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It happened with MMA. Like. And a few other things. So I love this, man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been doing it every day. But I'm going to do the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do these open mics.
Earn your stripes.
Try to earn my stripes. Try to make nobody laugh. And you know what I'm saying? Try to make 2 people laugh. 3,
man.
And then slowly build up.
And the next time it's 3 people. And the next time 4 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly, man. So, like, I'm going to keep writing jokes. And I want to see how far this goes. Especially, like, I'm 35 years old, yo. I got a few more fights left in my contract, but there's not too many years left. I'm gonna be looking like, you know what I'm saying? I can't be going out there collecting a paycheck, getting beat up all the time. So, it's good to like, get into that. It's good to be a white belt again.
Oh.
Put it like that, bro. Put it like this. Like, I've been training for almost 15 years now, Like 2009 I started, so I don't know how long that is, but I've been training since 2009. I've done a lot, you know what I'm saying? So now it's good to be so bad at it. It's so funny, like
it's
to me.
So refreshing.
You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, like after, like it's crazy. Like
damn, man.
So it's good. Like I'm meeting like a lot of new people. Like shout out to all the comics in Miami. Like these dudes are legit, man. Like they go up there, bro, and they do work and they make people laugh. It's amazing. So
damn, man.
It's funny. They think I'm a fighter. I'm like, yo, y'all make people laugh. That's dope,
Man, that's a beautiful way that you put it. You know what I'm saying? It's great to be a white belt again. That's beautiful. I
want to learn and just start. Rinse and repeat, dog. Every 10 years, I find something. It seems like every 10 years, I'm like, I find something new. So this is the next one.
Damn. And what's been the kind of like the feedback, the response from the local comics? Do you find that they are encouraging you? Do you find that they're like, yo, it's not it? Like, what's been how are they treating you?
Yeah, man. Everybody's been super chill, bro. Like I show up and like you gotta sign up for these little things, and I go, and then everybody's been, man, they've been like super supportive, Like all the upcoming comics have been helping each other out. It seems like a big scene here because like a lot of people from New York and other states are coming here because like Florida's not being affected with the restrictions.
Right.
So I heard that the comedy scene here is like getting like a lot bigger, So I think it's a good time to get in, man. Like I'm meeting new people every week and like meeting new guys in the game. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like a lot of talented guys that I've been meeting, and like it's kind of cool, It's like it's funny because I go to these shows. And I feel like when I first started training, like when I was like a white belt, like I see like all the black belts and shit hanging up, like all the pro fighters. I'm like, yo, those guys are pro.
Yeah.
So now it's like I'm going to do these I'm going to write these jokes, and then I go to these open mics, and I see all these other like known comics. I'm like, oh snap, that's that guy, yo.
Damn.
So it's like it's like the same. It's the same type of game, like process, just a different thing, you know, like
Right.
so it's crazy. Yeah.
Before we start wrapping up, do you have any sort of any performances coming up? This is dropping in about like a week and a half or so. I don't know if you have anything far advanced, or if anything, just talk to me about social media. Where can the people follow you? Where can they follow your journey? You know what I'm saying? And that way, boom, they can stay up to date with every single one of your fights and your performances.
Oh man, all right, word. You can catch me at Honeybadger 305.
Yes, sir.
I don't really have Facebook. That's pretty much my main thing right now.
Hell yeah. And
But
you
as
see
long
that
as
on the
I have
screen.
it- Yeah, sorry. The Honeybadger 305 is the IG. That's where, and I usually post. I don't post none of my comedy or nothing like that. This is like kind of like working in the dark. I did a little like a show where like you bring your friends and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that went well. That was like it was at the Miami Improv, so that was pretty cool. Shout out to all the team, like oh man, like everybody from Zen Jiu-Jitsu and all my friends that I grew up with and my family that came out. They came out, and then for the thing, that was awesome. So that was like my first time speaking in front of people.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so that was awesome. That felt like my first amateur fight, yo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you know what was amazing?
What?
The same people that were in my first amateur fight were in my first comedy show.
Oh, man.
The same people, yo. The same people.
And that's a full circle moment right there.
It's a full circle moment. I didn't have to like, it was just like through word of mouth, just told a few people, and then everybody came plus more. So it was like super overwhelming, you know? So just for that, I'm going to keep going. I want to make them new, better, funnier things so that
Hell yeah.
they see that I'm getting better, you know?
Man, I commend you for that hard work, my brother.
Yeah, no, man.
I really do.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Of course. And last thing before we wrap up, brother, I gotta ask if you could give any advice to a 13-year-old honey badger, what would it be?
Yo, you gotta, whatever it is in your life, you gotta find your passion and do it with everything you got. And don't ever look back. Just do it, yo. Don't matter. And don't even tell nobody what you want to do. This is like, I want to do comedy, but I don't even don't tell nobody what you want to do. Don't rush an idea. I mean, you can tell people, but honestly, just have something, write it down and go for it. And then once you make that decision, don't ever stop, yo. Like, no matter what, because even if you don't make it in that thing, which is what happened with me, yo. I didn't make the things that I wanted to do in MMA. I wanted to become UFC world champ. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out like that, obviously. But in trying to be the best, I was able to find so many other things where I didn't make it to the level that I wanted, but I did as good as I could. And because of that, I've still benefited a lot from it. So
you carved your own path, and it's a tremendous path.
So there you go. Like if somebody wants to do something, if there's no money in that field, or if it seems really far, just keep doing it. And you never know what happens, you know? Like maybe you don't get to what you wanted, but you find in that process, you're gonna, you know, the beauty's in the struggle.
Oh yeah.
Like J. Cole says, yo.
Oh man, I love me some J. Cole.
That's my favorite quote. The beauty's in the struggle, you know? Like all the shit and losses that I have, but it's made me better, you know, made me more confident.
100%. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing? You can go on Apple Podcasts. You can go on Spotify. You can go on Deezer, bro. You hit my DMs. I'll get you a damn cassette, brother. I figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But more than anything, you go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you got all the footage. You know what I'm saying? All these angles, all these camera angles. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got 72 damn cameras in here. So you can see the Honeybadger up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? Every Thursday at midnight. Brother, thank you again for dropping on by.
Yo, thank you for having me on the podcast, man. This is an amazing setup, bro. I've been a big fan of you guys.
Thank you so much.
So it's kind of like, just like you said, full circle, dog. I was smoking pot in my room in Bangkok, Thailand, watching the Midnight Miami.
Praise God,
And now
brother.
I'm on the Midnight Miami, dog.
Man.
Yo, mama, I made it.
Bro, that's high efficiency, baby. That's high efficiency. I love it.
So
thank you so much,
brother.
bro.
For sure, man.
Hey, the door's always open for you. For real, the door's always open for you, my
man.
brother.
My pleasure, bro.
Of course. Every Thursday at midnight. You know what it is. Holla.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. Where you can push it to the limit. It gets real with only one and ill. You're locked into it.